Hi everyone, it's Kate Langford here. So I'll just wait for a few people to come on in, but we are doing live at 12 p.m. Queensland time every single day this week, where we'll be talking all things business, small business. We've got some amazing topics that we'll be covering. The first topic that we'll be talking about today is really going to be around identifying your ideal customer, talking about narrowing down to your niche, as well as the key questions to ask your audience and why. Then tomorrow we'll be talking about uncovering pain points of those audience, because it's really important that we understand and we know exactly who we're serving when it comes to business. Now, if you don't know me, I'm Kate Langford. I've been running my own business here for about 7 years now, and I started with $0 in my garage, left a corporate career and had 2 babies under 3. And so I've been able to build that now. I have 2 businesses, an amazing team, and we service Australia-wide and New Zealand in all things careers as well as new start businesses. So in this business world, the type of clients that I work with and help are ones that are either been made redundant and they are looking at wanting to start their own business and they've been sitting on the fence for a while about it, or maybe they're already working and they want to merge out and actually start their own business, or they've been working in their business maybe for 6 months, 12 months, even up to 2 years, and they're not getting that traction. They are working either as a solopreneur or maybe a couple of people in their business, but nothing's happening. And so what actually happens, and what I really help people with, is the business fundamentals. I'm a business foundations coach, and that's exactly what I help people with when it comes to starting their own business. So let's get into it today in regards to what we are going to be talking about. The first of 3 points that I'm going to talk about here today include how to identify your ideal customer. Okay, so let's talk about that. Maybe you are sitting there and, like a lot of my clients, they spin around and around on circles and they think, oh, I want to be a consultant. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I want to actually help these people, and then these people, and then these people. So there's so many different ways in which you can start a business. It can be doing and helping 1,000,001 people. But here's the problem. If you go out there trying to help everyone, you actually end up helping no one. Why is that? Because you are speaking to not one area. You're just generalizing it across the board and hoping that it will resonate and then they'll get in contact with you. Here's the thing. If you don't know exactly who you're serving, then what actually happens is you won't get anyone responding because you're not speaking to them. So let's say, for example, right at the beginning of this live here, I talked about, hi Sandy, hopefully that internet's okay. Maybe it's mine. Could be mine. Hopefully it's all right. Let me know if anyone else there is having some problems. So in regards to, that light's pretty bright there too, isn't it? Let's put that up there. So basically, when we're talking about your ideal customer, we need to make sure that, and it's kind of scary for people, and this is why I wanted to talk about this topic today. You really need to know who it is, because if you're running out there to grab everyone, I can't stress enough, you're not actually connecting with your audience. You're actually not speaking to their core. You're not speaking to their pain. You're not speaking to their frustration. You're actually generalizing it, which actually impacts on getting nobody. So identifying your ideal customer, the first thing you want to be thinking about is, what's your story? Have you got a story? Have you got experience? Have you got something that resonates? Normally, a good business model will start from you've been doing this for a while without naturally even realizing it. You will have been there, done that, and now want to help certain people that have been in that area. You want to think about, where is your credibility landing? You want to be thinking about what comes naturally to you, what lights you up. So it could be, and let's just use an example, it might be working with women. So maybe you work with men or women better. Is there an age demographic that you connect or work better with, or that your ideal product, service, e-commerce business, or whatever that is will serve? So we've got demographic. Is it in your backyard or is it Australia-wide? 9 times out of 10, you want to start in your backyard, because then you can branch out once you've got the evidence, okay? So ideal client needs to be men or women. Look, some people say everybody, I get that, but if you can niche it down, the better you will have your business, the better you will grab those people. You can always help everyone later, but it's really important that you really navigate down into this ideal market. So age demographic, is it men or women? What's the location? Do you have credibility? Do you have exposure? Have you done it before? Is there a story behind you? So they're just some of the points that I want to talk about today when it comes to knowing your niche and your ideal market. The next one is narrowing down your niche. So like I've just said there, when we're really starting to think about all the different demographics, the age, the frustrations, let's say, for example, you had a business and you were serving lots of different people in lots of different areas, and you said, I help people who are struggling with feeling this, and hey, I can help. If you narrow down really specifically who that is, imagine the marketing that comes up, or, the connection, and you're actually speaking to, are you a man aged between, 55 and 60? Normally you want to have about a 20-year age kind of demographic there. So for example, me, I help a lot of women, some men, but a lot of women, normally between 35 and about 55. To start their own businesses, or even a bit older. I kind of attract more of that older generation. But, what's really, not older generation, but do you know what I mean? So you really want to make sure that you're narrowing that down. You've got your ideal client. Every time you think, okay, I'm going to serve these people, I want you to almost challenge yourself, or even go there again and think, okay, if I could narrow that down even another layer, what would it be? If I narrowed down another layer, what would it be? And, and when we talk tomorrow on this live at 12 p.m. Queensland time, I'm going to really start tapping into those pain points, because the pain points is actually then what makes the difference, and is almost like the next layer of that cake once you've got that niche market. So the next thing here to talk about, and these lives, by the way, are normally just 10, 15 minute quick, sharp training pieces over the next 5 days. So the next piece I'm going to talk about are the key questions to understand your audience. Okay, so how can you understand your audience deeply? Because if you know your audience, you know what they want, you've got your niche nailed, you're actually halfway there, right? Because you're actually speaking to one area. And this is why I harp on this, because people and clients that come to me all the time and say, oh, I help do this. I'm like, whoa, that is such a big net. You need to be really clear on who you're serving. So key questions to ask. Let's talk about that. So it might be, are you a client that is, and there's just so many examples that you could use, but if we make it around my business, right? Are you someone who's starting a business? Yes. Are you someone who's already tried to want to start a business? Yes. Now, if someone says, I've never thought about it, it's just on my radar, they're not an ideal client for me, right? Why? Because they're not serious about doing it. Now, by the way, just on a side note, you don't have to be dead serious right then, but you need to have had this in the subconscious for a few years, or you're at a crossroad and you're kind of ready to give it a go, but you don't know how. See how asking my client, have you thought about it for a while? If they're like, no, then they're not an ideal client. If they're like, yes, I have been, but I've not done anything about it, great, they're an ideal client. So it might be a question, have you struggled with this? Where have you already been to get the help? Is this the first time that you've wanted help? Are you willing to invest in getting help for you if that's what you're wanting? How much time do you have to, allocate to help this problem, or whatever it is that you're providing? Have you done research or market research or competitors? What were you looking at to wanting to achieve by getting the help? They're just some. I could go on and on and on about this, but it's obviously different for every single individual and every single individual business, which is what I coach on and help you do. But they're just some of the questions that will probe you to think about, is that your ideal client? So see how, if you know your ideal client, you know what the market is that you want to serve, not just because you like it, but because you've got a passion piece, because you've got exposure, because it's almost like a calling. When it's a calling, or it's something that's like, I can't get this out of my head, I've always thought it but never acted on it, that's normally where your ideal client is. And then narrow down and narrow again. So Sandy's written here, initial thought, narrow down another layer, pain point. I want control of health and safety in my business, avoid litigation, have trust of employees, clients, authorities, workplace health and safety. Yep. So what you're doing there, Sandy, is perfect. You're going down, down, down again. So once you do market research, which is what I get all my clients to do, that will then expose the rest of it. What I'm starting on here today is just to get over the next 5 days. I'll be sharing different topics on each layer, but you want to be thinking, what's my story? What's my credibility? What lights me up? Who's the market? Specifically, who do I want to serve? The key around this live today is to, every time you think you want to start a business or you've got a business, don't help everyone, because you're actually doing a disservice to them, because you're not grabbing the right ones and then them trusting you and then have the credibility, and it's going to take longer to get wins on the board. So that's my live for you today. If you have any questions, pop them here, even if you're watching the replay, or give me a hashtag replay if you're watching this. Tomorrow at 12 o'clock, we'll be adding to another layer of this, which is really going to be about the pain points of these clients and why it's important to have pain points. We're also going to talk about how to turn those pain points into solutions and how to communicate those solutions effectively in your messaging. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow, but I hope that was helpful for everyone, is that you need to niche, and niche again. You'll have Kate stuck in your brain. What's your credibility? What have you done well? What comes natural to you? What lights you up? Some of those questions that you want to ask, like I said in this live, is, what is it that a client would be seeking? What would mean that it's a successful experience for them? What are all of those things in regards to, ideal questioning? Again, going to be different for every single industry. If you do want help, I am actually jumping on calls personally this week. So if you do want to chat and see if we're a good fit, or if you have any questions at all, just jump over to so just katelangford.com.au, and there's a business 20-minute chat booking link there that will come straight through to me, and I'm available all week to take these calls to see if we can help at all. So I hope that was great. You're very welcome, Dan. He said, thanks, Kate, insightful and useful. It's just a little snippet of a 10-15 minute training every day this week at 12 p.m. So if you are watching the replay, hashtag replay, give me a love, heart, like, and please share this to anyone that you think maybe wants to start their own business, or wants to leave their job, or maybe they're redundant wanting to start, or maybe they're operating in a small business now and they're actually wanting to get some help because it hasn't taken off the way that they thought. And that's because the foundations haven't been done right, which is what I'm very passionate about. So here's to you. Have a great day, and I'll see you all tomorrow at 12.